I was just drowning in the security breach stuff of the internet. There's a lot. I haven't played it yet. I will when it comes on Xbox. I am cautiously looking forward to it. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about that today. I'm here to talk about the movie that still does not exist. Oh, no, it exists. It just hasn't happened yet. And for good reason, I think. It's very difficult to make a movie of a game franchise that gives you basically nothing. Of course, Scott knows how it goes, and he wants the movie to be good, but he thinks that the fans wouldn't accept how it would play out the way he envisioned it, like he said all those years ago during FNAF 4. So, he wants to satisfy the fans, he wants to satisfy casual moviegoers, but he also wants to satisfy himself. And that isn't easy, but I provide you with an idea, not a solution, because I don't think Scott will ever watch this, but an idea of what the movie would be like. First, before we start off with the movie, the timeline of the movie, I want to establish 3 things. 1, it is a different timeline from the games. It is still the same canon, just events happen in a different order. Because I don't want William to just start out as a psychopath. Something has to push him to insanity. That's one thing. Secondly, I do not want this movie to have any cliffhangers, any post-credit scenes, anything that would warrant a sequel. Because if there was anything warranting a sequel, people would want a sequel. And that would be pain for everyone. But if it's a one-and-done thing, and, it all wraps up completely at the end, FNAF 6 is the end. It spans the first 6 games. That's the movie. It's the timeline of the life of the Afton family. And it ends at FNAF 6, burning everything completely. That's how it should end, so that it's done completely. And third, William Afton should... I have 2 picks for the actor to play William Afton. Willem Dafoe or Joaquin Phoenix. For the life of me, I cannot decide which one is better. Because, on one hand, Joaquin Phoenix is amazing as Joker. You just remove the makeup, put him in a rabbit costume, he would be amazing as William Afton. Then again, Spider-Man? So anyway, you decide. What would you like? What would you like? You decide for yourself. Because I can't. Anyway, yeah, let's do this. Let's do the timeline of events in the movie. So, it starts out with, William and Henry. They're young. Clearly young. They're not married yet. And, they're talking about robot stuff. How to improve on their animatronics, and that they want to, they want to create a restaurant, like Chuck E. Cheese. And, they'd mock it, man, Chuck E. Cheese, you're no match for, Afton Robotics. And then, they go to this traveling roadshow of the Dancing Fred Bear, which is a real bear, with, yellowish-brown, it's a yellowish-brown grizzly that dances. It's a real bear in this traveling, roadshow. And they're like, that gives me an idea. Because, in Security Breach, there's the old poster for the Dancing Fredbear, an old black and white one. So, if it is an actual real bear, it makes sense for that to be like that, and then it would be cool for them to actually inspire the animatronic off of a real bear. And I think that would just be hilarious. And, so... Montage of them designing the Springlock animatronics, Spring Bonnie and Fredbear, and that's when the title card of the movie plays. Five Nights at Freddy's the movie. Blah, blah, blah. Cut to like 15 years later, we have William and the three Afton children. His wife is like dead, I think, or divorced, and that would have to be fine-tuned in the script department. I'm not in that department. I'm in the storyboard department. And Henry's also a single father with Charlotte, and there's Michael, Elizabeth, and I want his name to be Evan, the crying child. His name is Evan in my version of the movie. And, Evan is friends with Charlotte, but there's also Gabriel, Fritz, Jeremy, Susie, and Cassidy. That's like their friend group at school. They all know each other. And, Michael's got his friend group, the bullies. They keep picking on Evan. What Michael does. It's 1983 at this point, by the way. And, William's happy. Like, he's clearly, like, not a child murderer yet. That's something I want to get across. So, it makes you sympathize with him a little. Not too much, just a little. And, the first death of the series is, the bite of 83. But before that, we're shown, like, it's like the day before the birthday party, right? The fourth day. Night 4. But, like, Evan isn't the one having the nightmares. The nightmare animatronics don't haunt him. So, he's kind of just, like, afraid of the animatronics because of Michael. Like, Michael scares him. So, he doesn't like Foxy. He likes Foxy the least. But, he likes everyone else, and Fredbear is his favorite. Of course, he's got the plushie. Carries it around everywhere. And, so, yeah. We're at the establishment, and phone guy's there. Scott Cawthon. It's Scott. It is really, really Scott, because you can't recast phone guy in this movie. It's Scott. And, then it's the day of the party. And, the bite happens. Like, the whole restaurant, like, people are screaming and running out. William is just standing in shock. All the other kids are crying and, running away with their parents. And Michael doesn't know what to do. And so, yeah, they rush him to the hospital. He dies. The town is beshooketh. Because, stuff like this just doesn't happen in that town. Like, the only thing that happens are good things, For most of the... For the most part. Up until now. And so, William confronts Michael, and he doesn't get mad at him. He's like, I know it wasn't your fault. You didn't intend to do this. And, it's this emotional scene with them. But William is different now. You can tell that in his way of speech, and, like, just his look in his eyes, that he's different, clearly. So he goes into the basement, and he's like, okay, well, we can use the other characters in Fredbear and Friends, Freddy and Foxy and whatever. We can make a restaurant with them. And just make the assumption that Fredbear doesn't exist. Like, he's talking to Henry over the phone. And he's like, you know what? We should also have another restaurant with, clowns. Kids like clowns. And Henry's like, are you sure? I don't think kids like clowns. And William's like, nah. I got a bunch of great ideas with clowns. So Henry's like, okay, I guess we'll do that. And then we cut to William designing Circus Baby, but something's wrong. He puts a giant lobster claw in Circus Baby. Why does he do this? He doesn't, we don't know. He's just kind of like, guess I'm doing this now. But he doesn't say it, of course. He's just kind of like, Lobster claw. And, he also designs Ballora. Like, he's looking at the photo of his wife, and he's like, I can make this work. And he makes Ballora. The mini arenas, Balloon Boy, everyone. It's like 1984, maybe, when Circus Babies opens up. Everyone's still kind of shook. Freddy Fazbear's hasn't opened yet, the first location. So, the thing happens. Elizabeth goes in, even though William tells her, no, don't go near this thing, okay? It's not for you to go look at. But she does, of course, and gets clawed. And, it closes down on the first day. William is beshooketh again. And, all the animatronics get stored in the basement later to be reused for rental. Then, the very first Freddys Pizza opens. And, it's the fixed versions of the withered animatronics. That's what they look like. I think that's what they should look like. We got withered Freddy but fixed, withered Bonnie but fixed. And then, the spring lock suits are in the safe room. And, we see William is... He does the missing children. He does the thing. He kills the kids. And, that's when Henry's like, William... Something's wrong. People, something's wrong. So it's just our establishments. You think there's an inside job? Someone's doing this from the inside. William's like, oh no, that's crazy. It's got to be someone else. But Henry's like, what about the spring lock suits? The only other person who knew how to use those was, and he's referring to Phone Guy, but he doesn't say his name because. You can't say Scott because that'd be weird. Because Scott's not in the games. I think. At least. I don't know. But yeah. And that's when, William, he goes home that night. It's the 5 children are gone. Charlotte's the only one left. Right. And, the place gets shut down. Well, not yet. The place doesn't get shut down yet. He goes to his basement and realizes that Baby is just walking around. And then, it's a confrontation where it's like, Elizabeth? And, they have this moment where it's like, she doesn't know what happened. But he does. And she's like, Dad, what happened? And he replies, you're perfect. And so, he's like, that's when he starts designing, the scooper and, figuring out what Remnant is. And he also designs the sound illusion discs at the same time. He uses them and, attaches them to Baby and Ballora, to, make them appear, human again. And, he's like, I wonder what else I could do with these. And that's when he uses Michael as a test subject. Because Michael doesn't really do much until, sister location. So if he's the one with the nightmares, that would actually make more sense in a movie context. Because William is experimenting with the sound illusion discs, and Michael is frightened, he's having nightmares of the memory of what he did with Evan, which is why Fredbear is so prominent on night 5, because it was his fault. He's guilty, right? And so he uses them. Michael's moving around, using the flashlight in the bedroom, but there's clearly nothing there. And William knows this. He's like, he sees them. It's working. And then we cut to Michael's perspective, where we can see everything he sees, And, it's FNAF 4. Yeah, and so the next day, they're at the Freddy Fazbear's, and then, the blood and mucus starts pouring out of the suits, and then the place gets shut down. Then we cut to, it's 1986, and so they decide that they need to make a new restaurant with facial recognition software. Henry decides to put that in, as well as the security puppet to protect his daughter. And William's like, oh, what, do we need that? I don't think we need that. And Henry's like, William, if we want to keep doing these restaurants, we need to take precaution about this. This is a real thing that's happening. And William's like, okay, fine, we'll do it. So, yeah, we could see things happening over time. William is tampering with the original animatronics in parts and service. That's why they're withered, is that he's salvaging them for parts to figure out why they aren't possessed yet, but Elizabeth is. He's like, what's going on? So he takes some of the parts, takes them to his basement. He doesn't know how to work it yet, and that's a point of contention. But the next day, he tries to go into work, but there's police there, and Henry's there. He's like, William, I'm sorry, but you're fired. And William's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? And then the cops are like, sir, you are a prime suspect in the missing children's incident. We cannot let you be in charge of this establishment any longer. And William's like, oh, this is outrageous. So, he just, it's nighttime, right? It's raining. He gets back in his car. He slams the door. He's banging on the dashboard. He's just agonized. And then he looks up and hears, it's Charlotte, like, let me in. She's outside of the establishment in the alleyway. And so we kind of just see him just staring forward and reach for the gear shift and just slowly drive up and kill her. We then cut to the puppet, going out and finding the body. The police never find the body of Charlotte, though. It's the puppet finds it and takes it away somewhere. And, Henry puts it together. This happened when we told William to go away. William did something. He thinks it's William. And so, he goes over and looks at the puppet, and he's like, guess it didn't work. And then he leaves for the night. We turn back to the puppet, and it's alive. Charlotte. And it goes to the other animatronics and wakes them up, too. Because it's Charlotte. She knows that it's her friends, It's all 7 of them, including Golden Freddy, with the 2 souls, Cassidy and Evan. And, then we cut to the next day. It's a birthday party. But the animatronics are acting super weird. The toy animatronics are kind of just, staring at the adults. And Henry's like, something's wrong. And he calls in Jeremy Fitzgerald, who is played by Markiplier. And he's like, Jeremy, we need you to come in for this birthday party. We need you to make sure that the animatronics don't hurt anyone. And Jeremy's like, okay. And so he gets there, and it's revealed that it's Markiplier. He's Jeremy. And then, the animatronics, they see the security guard outfit, because that's how William would, that's how they would recognize William. Wait, no. Never mind that. No, they just... Wait, no, they would recognize him, because that's what William would wear around the establishment. And if they know it's William who was in the Spring Bonnie suit... Oh my god, I can't even... See how confusing this is? Oh boy. So anyway, yeah, he's wearing the costume, the outfit, the security guard outfit, the purple one, and they're just kind of like... And he's like, why are they staring at me? And then we turn to the mangle crawling around on the ceiling like the Mangle does, and then just kind of like just staring at him, and Henry's like, Jeremy, don't move. And he's like, huh? And he gets bit. Like, we get the Mangle jump scare. And, I guess I should say it now. Was that the bite of 87? And it's Mark. So, it makes sense. Just have it be Mark. It needs to be. It has to be. Anyway, Williams that gets the second location shut down. And, they need a new security guard. So, for the next location, in 1993, I think, or is it 2003? It's gonna be 93 for the purposes of the movie. And, William sneaks in as a security guard. Because if Elizabeth's alive, why aren't the other ones alive? But he doesn't know. But then he realizes, he hears the news that the animatronics bit someone. And he's like, it's them. It must be. So, he fakes being a security guard to get in. Again. And, it's still under construction. It's during a time when, the buildings are under construction. There's still a safe room, because they haven't been discontinued yet, apparently. Or is it no, it's the first building that, has the safe room. They didn't take it out. So, he goes in as a security guard, and he sees them all moving around, and he's like, okay, how? And so it's then the next few years of that restaurant being open, and, him sneaking around, like, gathering parts and using them and discovering Remnant. Like, he melts them down, creates the Funtime animatronics, put the illusion discs in. He's still, testing them out on Michael. Like, but Michael's older, and he still has the nightmares of, like, Fredbear and everyone. So, yeah. We're at the point where William's like, okay, alright. So the restaurant closes, and William sneaks back in afterwards to dismantle the animatronics and gather their parts. They'll gather all the parts to try and get enough remnant to make himself immortal. That's his new goal. He's trying to become immortal. And so, he dismantles them, and then the ghosts of the kids appear. Like, at first they appear as, like, flickers, then they appear fully formed, but, like, they're ghosts. Their eyes are blacked out, and they're crying black blood. And, William's terrified. He's like, ugh, and he runs away into the safe room to hide. And, like, he hides in the Spring Bonnie costume. I don't know why he would do that. That is a job for the script department. I am not in that department. I am in the storytelling department. Or storyboarding, I guess. Whatever it was. Anyway, Springlock, Crunchy, he did. Henry seals off the safe room, and he's like, you know what, just open them all again. Open them all again. Just do it. Okay? Because, he needs money. He just decides to open he opens the other two. He moves the animatronics from that one and moves them back to the first one. And, the second one is still open. And that's when we cut to Michael he's home and he's like, Dad, where are you? And, like, he doesn't know what happened, but he knows that it's like he might be in the basement, but he's confronted by employees of Circus Babies Entertainment and Rental, and they're like, hey, you can't be here. If you want to be here, just get a job as night shift. And he's like, okay, sure, I'll get a job as night shift. Sister location plays out. The animatronics are moving. He doesn't know it's Elizabeth yet. And, so He gets scooped. Um, he Ennard leaves his body. He realizes that he's still alive, even though he should be dead. So he goes back to the sister location, Circus Babies rental, and he discovers William's old office, all the blueprints, all his documents, and he discovers that William was the murderer the whole time. And so that's when he vows, "Father, I'm going to come find you." Because he doesn't know where he is. And, like, the end of the speech, it shows him, there's, like, job posting for Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. It shows him circling the newspaper article. He goes there. He tries to set the souls free. He actually confronts them. He's like, "I know your name. It's Jeremy." When Bonnie comes to the door, and Bonnie's like... And Bonnie kind of just leaves. But, Michael follows him, and then, like, he meets the others. Like, he knows it's the kids. Because, like, William's document said, like, oh, the kids are still there. And, like, the puppet, like, explains to him that they won't be able to be put to peace unless William is gone for good. That's when they can finally reenact the birthday party. Because they know that the evil of William will be gone. So, he's like, okay, we gotta find him. Cut to 2023. And it's FNAF 3. The phone dude's there. They discover Springtrap. And, it's a weird interaction with him and Michael. Because Springtrap doesn't recognize that it's Michael. It's still William, but he doesn't know it's Michael. Because, like, he's a rotting purple flesh suit. And then, Michael confronts him. He's like, "Hello, Father." And then Springtrap's like, "Michael?" And, it's like, he doesn't want to hurt Michael. Like, he's sympathetic. He's like, "Michael, how could this have happened to you?" And, he's like, "Creatures like us, we can't be killed. We are immortal, Michael." And Michael's like, "I wouldn't be so sure. I found your office, and I'm gonna end you." And, like, or something like that. And he throws, like, gasoline on him. And Springtrap's like, "No, what are you doing? Stop." And he lights Springtrap on fire. And so, Springtrap, like, it's on fire. The building collapses. Of course, he survives. And he, then we like, Michael leaves. Then we cut to Ennard, in whatever hiding place he is, like, spitting out baby. They're separate again, and, like, Michael is running away from the fire. It's, like, nighttime, and then he meets Henry. And Henry's like, "You won't be able to kill him that easily. That building has, like, 3 exits." Like, he's not surprised that Michael's alive even though he's supposed to be dead, because, like, he owns the restaurants. He's seen them moving. He knows it's them. And so he teams up with Michael. He's like, "We need to stop this for good." And, that's when FNAF 6 happens, blah, blah, blah. And then, it's Henry's final speech. Everyone's there. Everyone burns. Then we cut to afterward. We're in the very first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Or is it Fredbear's Diner? I think it's... No, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. That's what it's going to be. And, Michael is there with the 7 kids. Evan's there too. And, they have their happiest day. All the kids leave except for Charlie. Because Charlie's like, "There's one more. You need to save him too." She puts on the mask and disappears. And then Michael understands it's William. And so, he gets up and leaves the safe room, and he enters, like, the main stage area. And we could see William looking at the animatronics. But, like, they're fine. It's not Springtrap, it's William as a human and Michael as a human. He's not purple anymore. And so they have this this moment, this emotional moment, and Michael's like, "I forgive you," and he's crying. William's crying. They hug. They disappear. The end. The end of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Oh. Anyway, that really took a lot out of me. I have been thinking about doing this for a while, and I finally did. Yeah, it ends it on a high note. Ends it, so that there isn't going to be hints at a sequel, because Jason Blum would die if Scott was like, sequel? Maybe? So, yeah. But, yeah, that's what I think. I don't know what the actual script would be like, but that's like a general outline of what I think the movie should be like. I want there to be actual character with like the animatronics and a puppet. And the kids, too. That's important. Which means that the movie would probably be like 4 hours long, but what did you expect? This is an epic, okay? Just deal with it. But yeah. And maybe, Dawko and Matt Pat can show up as like cameos too. Maybe Dawko is working as like another security guard, like the security guard Dawko, or like Matt Pat could be a news reporter for the Theorizer or something. Just like, yeah, they exist. They're here. Because the community's important in FNAF 2. Like, the community's, like, even more important than the game sometimes. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go, watch Revenge of the Sith, I guess. So, that's all I have for you today. I'm gonna play Security Breach. I'm gonna do a full review, because I know what it's like of it. I've seen all the videos, but I want to play it for myself, so that I personally can give my personal, honest opinion for sure. So, thank you, everybody, so much for watching. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.